Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine. Now on Rough Edge FM.
All right, y'all.
They keep leaving you out.
I know it's terrible.
I know. Welcome to Magic Talk. My name is James Lantine. Now, I know in talking with Greg was saying, a lot of podcasts now aren't doing these intros anymore and things like that. But you know what? I tried it without the intro. I didn't like it. I just need to hear the words renowned magician James Lantine.
Hey, man, if I was a renowned magician, I'd want to hear those words too.
I know. It's just
I cannot blame you, baby.
I like the affirmation and the stance. Thank you for actually taking a stance on something.
I did.
No, not being so wishy-washy about stuff.
And I think, our show is for goldfish, not for tadpoles.
There we go.
So tadpoles just run around aimlessly. They don't have any attention span at all.
Do you know goldfish what the memory of a goldfish is?
It's quite small.
6 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, at least they have enough time to watch the intro.
We just lost most of our audience if they're a goldfish.
Terrible.
All right. Because they're all gone.
An elephant. I want an elephant.
We're going to play for elephants then.
Anyways, today's show, we are going to have a little interesting topic. We are going to be talking about Chris Ramsey's recent video blog on revealing the secrets.
Ooh. Wait. Isn't that the first rule of magic, is to not reveal secrets?
I mean,
what is going on here?
That's like 1 and 2.
Hold on.
Now, all right, before we get into this debate, the debate has not started. Let me bring in the one and only, the masterful Richard Lake, a.k.a. Raven. Hey, Raven, how you doing?
Fantastic. How you guys doing?
Good. So we do have a rule on this show that the guest cannot look better than the host. And so
all right, let me start over.
Broken that
rule. Anyways, so what I thought we would do is have a little discussion about some of the quotes that he made throughout his video. Now, here's the thing I want you to know about Ramsey.
It's actually, just real quick, this is a continuation on the topic that we've talked about a couple of times on this show.
Yeah, we actually,
a little bit.
We actually talked about cookie cutters 2 shows ago. Being cookie cutter society,
and so copying other magicians.
Yeah, it's just that everybody is comfortable with doing the same old, and if you go off the beaten path, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. So just for information's sake, just so you know, Chris Ramsey has 7.15 million subscribers.
Wow.
So
that's a lot.
Obviously, a very popular dude, far more than us. And this video that he made had 66,000 views. And this is mind-boggling. 4.2 thousand likes, 0 dislikes.
Huh. 0 dislikes. Okay.
0.
It must be I've seen the video.
Yes.
It's a good video.
It is.
It's very good.
I'm wondering.
I think because it's Chris Ramsey, they're afraid to say a thumbs down.
Oh, what do you think he'll do to him?
Well, I'm wondering, just because he is Chris Ramsey, if it's like a fan basis thing where it's like, oh, everything he touches is, worth its weight in gold.
It might be.
But
so here's the deal. We are going to handle this little discussion like a presidential debate. So there are some rules to follow on this debate. Well, son of a gun.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, is that it?
And that was, come on, Jim.
I know, I blew that.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
You were dying to blow that
one. That's right. Hail to the chief.
Let's go.
Who's the chief?
That would be me.
This oligarchy right here.
That would be me because I have the notes. So
I watched the video too.
We're gonna go over some quotes. and then I want to get your takes on it.
Let's go.
Just keep in mind, the one thing this is not like in the presidential debates is this is actually friendly.
For sure.
We're not going to be talking
not just
over
friendly,
each other.
not just friendly for us, but let's be friendly to Chris too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No hate on him.
Take it easy on the guy.
Yeah, there's already enough hate in this world. We don't need to add any.
No
but
doubt.
I do think his discussion merits some opinions.
Let's go
on top of it. So the very first thing that he says in his video is, for decades, magicians have been buying and selling magic tricks and secrets and sharing them with each other. To magicians, this is not a shock, but to everyone watching, this is mind-blowing. End quote. So, Raven, seeing that you're the guest, let's turn it over to you. So,
I'm not sure how you took that quote, but it seems kind of like ridiculous. I mean, everybody knows about magic shops, right? And of course, we've been buying and selling magic since the beginning of any person that could sell an item. It's the little wooden things we would sell, so that's not a shock. It might have been taken out of context. I'm not really sure, but no, that's not a surprise.
That was actually his very first opening sentence in the video.
No,
and I think it was to kind of set up the whole stage of, I'm going to let out this big secret.
That's part of the brotherhood of magic. Like you have a club, you network with your fellow magicians, and if you feel like the guy has a passion for magic, I would certainly help him out and show him, well, maybe you should do it this way.
Now,
that's sharing the magic, right? I mean,
yeah, and us as magicians, we understand that. I think part of that statement is he's saying that an average person doesn't understand this concept, which I agree with Raven's original statement. Like, I am quite positive most laymen have been exposed to the concept of a magic shop at some point in their life, going just about anywhere, whether it's like Pike's Place, Seattle, or like Disneyland, there's going to be a magic shop around that. Maybe you didn't go inside it, but you know that it's there, in which case, what would they be selling?
So I think the whole thing on this opening statement that he makes, throughout the video, he talks about, the fact that we share secrets. We don't just share secrets. We use other people's lines. We take the tricks and we perform them verbatim. And so I think this was kind of setting up, not so much that we buy and sell magic, but the fact that we share the secrets with each other. And we actually teach them how to perform the trick the way we perform the trick. But the music industry writes music for other people to play.
Yeah.
And they don't rewrite the music to make it their own. They don't, some people might add their own little zest or their own little taste to it. But for the most part, just a straight on amateur musician is going to play the music the way it was written.
100%.
It's kind of the same line of what Raven was saying, where since we've known how to do this stuff, everyone's like, hey, let me show you how that's done. Here, watch, I just found something really cool. You get into a club and then you go and you share. It's not like it's this big old thing where, oh, you have to, it's mine and mine alone, and you can't use it. It's
right.
It's here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And quite honestly,
that makes sense.
If we didn't buy and sell magic, if you only could create your own original stuff, then nobody would be doing any magic, because nobody created the double. There's one guy who created the double lift. We're all using it.
I wonder if you put 100 monkeys in a room and told them to come up with something in relation to magic, how many of them would invent the double lift?
I think they'd probably just want bananas.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for pooping on my metaphor here. Come on now.
So here's another one, and this is also a quote.
What happened to that whole? We're not going to go and dig on each other.
The moderator has the floor.
All right. Okay. Whatever.
So your time has expired. I got the clock right here. So most of the magic tricks you buy at a magic shop take little to no practice at all, and you can make can make you a magician almost immediately. End quote.
All right.
All right, Raven.
Go ahead.
I can't even believe he's saying that, because he knows better than that. I mean, Chris is an amazing magician. I absolutely love Chris, everything he does, and that's why he has so many fans. But again, That's ridiculous. I mean, no. I mean, what was this quote again? Say it one more time.
Most of the magic tricks you buy at a magic shop take little to no practice at all and can make you a magician almost immediately.
Okay, so from a professional point of view, because I perform, in different venues, you have to put the time into a routine, a trick to make it look good. You can probably do the sleights, maybe in some cases very easily, but you have to talk and you have to present, and that takes a lot of practice. So I disagree with that comment. I think it takes a lot of time. You can't just go out in a minute. Now people do that, and you know that they'll go to a shop and go, look at this, I learned it, and then you learn as you go on. Like, no, but I think if anything, it takes time to really, to really make a routine or a trick. So I disagree. Yeah. You can't be an instant magician. No.
Yeah, and I think that especially like in our magic shop, we carry mostly professional stuff. We don't carry any junk or anything like that. And oftentimes we take one of the effects that we get in as a demo so that we can share it, present it, do whatever. And there's a lot of demos that come in that it's like, wow, this is going to take far too much work for us to be able to demo. We'll just use the video. Yeah. There's a lot of things that come in that are like,
there's nothing wrong with that because you're presenting it the right way too, which is beautiful.
Right.
It's how the guy wanted to present it, right? So you don't want a guy doing it, half
poorly.
Yeah.
Now there are some things that we do sell that you could go and pick it up and perform it right off the shelf.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I would debate though that you have already spent time in other areas developing performance skills and sleights. You're not somebody that has never done magic whatsoever, ever performed for anybody in their life.
Yeah.
So though you may be touching that trick for the first time, you have a certain level of expertise that has developed over time. So where you can have the ability to do that.
There is that too, where it's not this.
It's an accumulated
layperson
coming. It's an accumulated skill thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and we do a lot of teaching for starters, for people who want to learn magic. You ever see any one of them handle a deck of cards?
Someone who's never handled cards before? It's crazy.
They aren't taking like a baseball bat.
They aren't taking anything out of the box and performing it.
Yeah, no, not even just to show someone a card.
Yeah,
just they pull out a card and show it to someone. Those things are going to go everywhere.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, hold on.
Yeah,
you're right. We forget that. We see.
So here's another quote. Magicians perform magic tricks that they did not invent, which is pretty much the case for 99% of all magicians. Kind of, I think to a degree, we're all performing magic we didn't invent because somebody else has prevented some aspect of what we're doing.
We stand on the shoulders of giants, as they say, folks.
That's the quote.
But come on now.
I got something on that. Like, now, I think it just covers a lot of ground. Like, I think it's important to perform the trick the way that it was presented by the guy that created it first. You can do the pattern and everything. I think it's important. Master that first. That's the way the guy created the trick. Then, once you mastered it, then make it your own. Tweak it, change it. I do that all the time. Like, what can I do? For me, I think it would be better if I could maybe change it this way. And but absolutely, I mean, and I've heard some guys, I don't want to mention any names, but not to hear, but he's like, sometimes I don't even look at the instructions and I just throw it out. Nah, that's the wrong way to do it. You're buying something this guy took a lot of time on to create, hopefully, right? You fell in love with it when you seen it because he did it that way. So learn it 100%. And then I'm a big believer in, you guys know that, to change it. And
so imitate, and then innovate.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. And Raven, I mean, you have a very specific character that you perform in.
Right, exactly.
So obviously, you got to model the effect after your character so that it makes sense.
And I try to find routines that would fit that character as well at the same time. Right. But I will fall in love with somebody's routine because of the way they did it, and I'm like, wow. Now I'll give you an example. Like John Archer, he has that routine called Blank Night. And he has words on it like something, nothing, yours, mine, and sex, right? In his particular case. He's got an amazing, amazing routine. It's hard to be better than that one. If you look on Penn and Teller, man, it's a killer routine. I'm working on it right now for a bar routine, which is going to be great. But, honestly, I love his handling, and I know that it fits my character. I'll put my little style into it. I may change a couple of words, but he sold the trick like that. It's out on the market. Like, I'm allowed to use it. You know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with it. And I think you guys would too, because it's so interactive with like different spectators, there's jokes and everything. It's like, I could change it, but it would be less than, I think, in that case. So,
well, and I go back to the music industry.
Yeah.
Because the music industry is always creating new songs, new music, and then they're selling the sheet music so that you can play it.
If you change,
you're not rewriting. You're not coming up with a whole new composition. You're using the music as it was written.
Well, because some people, their talent is to be a voice. They are an instrument. They are very good at singing. That doesn't necessarily mean they have the creativity to create songs that fit their vocal style.
Oh, you know what? You got to make a good point. Yeah,
they need those people to create those pieces that they could be themselves with.
I didn't even think about it. My brother goes out every weekend and he has a gig where he plays in a restaurant. He's not playing his music. He's playing somebody else's. Is that guy like, do they look at him as a goof because he's playing? No, he's like fantastic. I mean, he's like mirroring some amazing music that we all fell in love with, right? Yeah. So that's a great point, James. I really think that that's a good mirror of like the same kind of thing, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's face it, there are probably an overwhelming majority, maybe 70% of all magicians who really aren't doing this other than the fact that they have a love of magic.
Mm-hmm.
And those who really put the time, the effort, and develop the routines into their own are the ones who become successful. And then you have the others that are just the hacks, but every industry has hacks.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Do you think it's a disservice
to did I say hack? I meant hobbyist.
Yeah, that's a much better way of putting it.
I talk to a lot of people in the castle, so I got to watch my words. You know what
I'm saying? Yeah. Now, do you think it's a disservice to go and change the routine or change the trick too much? I mean, I get the whole thing of putting your old.
It could be a disservice to yourself if it doesn't work out well, but if it works out to your style, then no. The way this discussion is kind of making me look at it is like, we are artists, right? These tricks that are provided by these people who create these, they're kind of creating our paints and they're creating our brushes that we have the choice to pick up and start to use and incorporate into our own art, right? So if I pick up that paint and I don't like the pigment exactly, I can mix something in there and change it up to make it fit what I want to paint. Or if I love that tone and it looks great right out of the tube, then I'm going to slap it on the canvas and use it.
I have a perfect example. I bought the trick by Craig Petty called Chop that dealt with a marker and a dollar bill. And in the end, I wound up using something completely different in a red ball. So
in the end, he fucked that shit up, like in a good way. Oh, I put in the language, but sorry. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Now
he's being humble.
There goes the check mark on the podcast.
Well, exactly for these messages.
Yeah.
So no, exactly. I used that as an inspiration, and then I kind of took it on my own, which is exactly good point.
Right.
Good point.
Most creators are taking things as an inspiration to create something new and different. We're all inspired by somebody else's work.
But without Craig Petty doing that, I wouldn't have done what I did.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say to him, bro, thank you so much. You inspired me. Some of your moves I've incorporated. I changed the things, but man, I am so glad you put this piece out because I won second place in a medal and I just did a close up with 26 shows and I killed it. I say you, bro. You lit the match that started the fire. And honestly, that's if indeed you are an artist, you'll use that like Greg said as a tool to paint a different photograph, image, a picture, whatever.
Right.
So I love the way you put it. That's great.
So was that the chop cup routine that you created as a result of that?
Coffee and then cream, and I mean,
it's amazing. It's the best chop cup I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm 100% serious.
Amazing. I wish you guys would have been there, man. Yeah, this was like a dream come true. Every show, and I'm not just saying this, I blew them away with the chop cup, and because of that, everything else that was before that kind of like went really well with it. It's a perfect bar routine as well. And like 3-card money. I used the mug trick when the guy mugged me and with the mask and everything. So yeah, man, for the first time, we all get up there and we perform, right? We get in the back and you get a little nervous. This time, man, I couldn't wait to get out there like a tiger. I was like, yeah, I want to perform. I was so ready, man.
Magic tiger.
I was so ready. It was amazing. I'm sorry.
And this is going to be the same set you're going to be using when you perform in March, correct?
And more.
Correct.
While I'm on this, not that we go on chase it. What's the time on that one? Well, I got you on. It's 30 minutes. Is that what it is?
30, 35.
Yeah, I got it. Whatever you
Whatever
need.
you got.
Yeah, you'll get that. We're gonna have a great. Trust me, your audience will be very pleased.
Yeah, it's gonna be March 8th at 7 p.m. at the House of Magic. So
Get your tickets.
It's March 8th. All right, I did not know that. Okay, good to know. Okay.
Yeah, make sure Raven might not be there, but you guys should be there.
Something real quick. Yeah, I was like, that's really quick. That's good. I'm happy. I thought it was sometime in the summer, but I'm doing a couple of things. What is it? March 8th. Beautiful. Okay, that's fantastic.
is that good?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's the next month, the next week after that, I think we have See Me Magic. We started that up as well. So I don't know. If
Oh, good.
We
So
got
See
El
Me
Popo
Magic
for the
is-
second show, which is cool.
So See Me Magic is where is it at the same place?
See, we started it up. We're going to start it up in April 19th. We got April, May, and June booked. Raven and Miggs will be doing the first one. We have a special guest. I don't know if I announced it yet. But, it's just your guy in the corner up there with the red hair. He's gonna try. I'm gonna try to do something. See if he can do something on stage. So I'm calling him out now because I told him he's got plenty of time to show up with this thing. Again, you give him opportunities. We're waiting for him to join the castle someday. But
That's right. That's right.
So all we can do is help him, right, James? You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we got, and then the next one for May, we got El Ropo, Phil Van T. I just worked with him for a week at the castle, bro. Talk about a professional comedian, magician. He could take a piece of rope and entertain you for an hour, and everybody loves him in the end. He's like a Pop Hayden. He's that good. He really is. And I was trying to have him, and he's thrilled. I did a bunch of promo.
We tried to get him. We tried to get him up here, but the travel was just
Too hard on him.
Too bad. Oh my God, that would be perfect for you. I'll talk to him again. It's like,
yeah,
get him over here because we talked to him the last time we were at the castle, and he said, getting over here is just too much of a hassle.
where does El Robo live? Do we know? I thought it was
he down somewhere in
It's like Orange County area. I can't remember.
I don't think it was that far, but
no, I don't think so. You're right.
Yeah,
I think it's closer to me. Like I don't. He never. Yeah. Oh, you really need to get him in. Yeah, we'll talk to him. And then
okay,
that's good. Go ahead.
And then you have one more show booked?
I have the Junkyard. I have Illusions coming up this weekend. I have you and
Illusions.
And I have the Cellar coming up. Miggs and I are going to be doing at the end of May and the beginning of June. It's like
you guys own the Pellar.
Well, we haven't been there in a while. It's been, I'd say that, but by that time it'll be 6 months, so that's kind of rare.
Oh, really?
The Raven and Miggs Theater.
Yeah, I was going to say they should rename the theater.
What I'm going for now is to, and I know I told you all, but I want to work the library bar. So I'm going to be filming 2 sets next week in town at some local bars, the Junkyard and the Angry Ferret. And then I'm going to submit them to Jack because he needs to see that video. And we'll see.
Nice.
Be another venue for me to get them working.
All right. That was a little sidebar, but that's,
what do you got? What do you got? So what's next?
Back to the debate.
Okay. He mentions about creating movie trailers to help sell the trick, giving you just enough without giving away the secret. And my take on that was, isn't that called marketing?
And he was one of the guys that they hired to do that originally. Yeah. He literally was one of the guys that created the style of doing that.
Well, he mentioned
Peter McKeon.
He does. He does say that in the thing.
Yeah,
I do have a problem with that. I gotta say, because I do not like it. I get the whole having it where it's like a movie trailer to make the excitement of the whole trick. That's all perfectly fine. But the one thing that I really appreciate, I gotta say this, is when you get the full performance of said trick inside that whole movie trailer thing. Because if you're going marketing to the magician or to the performer, or heck, even the guy who's just the amateur, they're going to want to see what it is. They don't want to just see the reactions, because even that's not always the case. That is subjective. You're never going to get the same reaction.
Not only that, I know what a surprised spectator looks like. I don't know what the trick looks like. So.
Exactly. That's where I have that problem. I agree with him there.
Well, and the thing that he says, which is pretty much, giving you just enough without giving away the secret. I think for having a real trailer for a magician, it's I want to see the whole effect.
Yeah.
So the problem is that though they reverse engineer it and then you won't buy it. So that's why they don't do it.
True. Sometimes I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
There is a problem.
Then you can show it and go, well, it comes with this because you can't buy it. You can't make it, right? Like Craig Petty stuff. But I agree with it. If I had a trick that there was one moment where I do a switch, but you would blatantly see that on camera, I would probably cut that out. Like, as a matter of fact, that David Malik guy told me if you redo the video, you should cut out the switch on the thing because they're going to rewatch it. And I said to myself, I don't really care. I fooled them the first time. That really doesn't matter. But I don't think there's anything wrong with like trimming it to not show the secret. So I disagree with the three of you in that case.
Yeah. The thing that worries me is when they sit there and they talk about the effect and being easy to do and all this kind of stuff. And there's one move in there that they cut out, and then you get the effect, and you're going, "Oh, so that's why it's just not practical."
Right.
I can't perform this. It's not practical. So it's kind of a catch-22. But regardless, any marketing video, any trick, or any video you put together to sell something has got to be something that's captivating.
Yeah, flashy.
Otherwise, people aren't going to buy it. It's called marketing.
It's marketing. You got to drive the sale. Yeah, for sure.
Here's a perfect Amazon example. Open the package and they would see a trick and they would say, that's it. How many Amazon packages have you opened and you go, really? That's what I just
I don't know why he used Amazon. we all have done that when we open a trick. I'm gonna go, oh, that's it. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good trick. It's just that you thought it was some special, like, oh my God, I thought it was like a science, some special thing. But now it's just a little piece of thread. But that
you just said I wish I didn't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Raven, why I said Amazon is we just opened up our new Chung Ling Soo escape room. So it's all done and running through, and we bought one of these bolts to hide an object inside. Well, when you look at the picture,
way to give it away.
I know it looks. I know. Oops.
Oh, man.
I just gave the secret out. But when you look at the picture, it looks like this really good sized thing, and when you get it, it's this little tiny thing, and you're going, I couldn't fit anything in there, even if I tried.
Right.
So it was one of those moments of where I went, really? This is what it is? The picture looks so much
Amazon, you send it back, right? That's just
yeah, exactly. So I am, this is not a full quote. This is just kind of taken out from what he said. I am just simply sick of seeing repurposed and repackaged magic. And I think a lot of magicians feel the same way.
I have thoughts on that one specifically.
Okay.
Now with that, I can count on my hand how many tricks that I have on my own originally. I gotta say original because there's plenty of other things like them. But my own thoughts have gone and said, this is mine. This is my thing. There are several others. Because I remember what was going on with that one. He's making reference to the same moves, the same pattern, the same, basically the same type of trick. I quote all the time the people that I get my inspirations from, like what you were talking about. More specifically, there's a B-wave style trick that I do. Apparently, I invented the way I do it. It's like all from the person that I quote about where I got my inspiration from. He says, okay, yeah, I didn't teach any of that you came up with all that. I'm like, no way. It's Bob Boulevard, by the way, if anyone wants to know. I have no problem telling Bob, I tell everyone that this is from you. And he's like, why? I didn't do that. I said, I remember vividly that he taught me all the different moves.
Well, Bob is like 90.
Yeah.
So
Here's the
You
problem.
might not remember. Yeah.
we might have forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the problem. Repurposed and repackaged. So Chris
I
Ramsey
repurposed and repackaged
Yeah.
that trick.
Chris Ramsey has a trick called the red pill,
Red pill.
which is almost identical to the effect that Sean Farquhar did on Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Yeah.
Now, what
He
came
did it
first, though, the chicken or the pill?
That I don't know.
But
But
the person that's the worst of this is Penguin Magic, but they're in business to do that. So they
Yeah.
take like stuff and like repurpose it. You look at any day of the week, and they're like taking little things and putting them out like they're brand new, which is crazy.
yeah, it's almost like it's like the movies where they one movie theater puts out or one movie production company puts out a superhero movie, and then all of a sudden everybody else is doing the same thing. It's like, well, that was really popular for them. We got to do the same thing.
You got it. Exactly.
Yeah. But I think to a degree, Magic is repurposed all the time. There's only so many sleight of hand moves you can do, and so many types of vanishing and black art and whatnot.
Yeah.
You got to repurpose something if you're going to create something new from it.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got one thumbs up, by the way.
Cool.
Let's go.
So with that in
But it's
mind,
not me, because I'm here. So that's
I
good.
know, right? It's normally Raven, so let's get it.
I should check the comment section. I forgot about that.
but
Go ahead.
with that in mind, where do you think it is, let's just say, excusable and then inexcusable? Like, would you say if credit is given in certain areas where you're, well, we'll say, gathering your inspiration from, say you took the this move directly from, or this line directly from Sean Farquhar, and you're using it, but you give credit where you can.
Who?
Do you think that's? Do you think that's? I'm sorry.
Who are you giving credit to? Like who are you
Sean.
telling?
Yeah, Sean, because you're going in where you can appropriately give credit to it.
The
You're
email
giving credit to Sean and everything, and you saying, "Hey, this is his thing that he invented, or this is his line, or something like that."
Like, for instance, if I come up to you after the show, oh, that was amazing. I
Yeah.
really like that one thing you did. You'd say, oh, thanks. It was taught to me by blank.
Yeah, pretty much like that. You're giving credit to the person who created it or who said it first.
Okay, so here's one. We just have a new trick that came out. What's the one that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
What's up, Sharpo?
Did he make it on?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, what did he say? Wanted to hop on.
Remote.
No.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It has the kill and all that on. What is that one?
That's
Prestige.
the only one
Prestige.
Yeah, Prestige.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
'Cause I know
they
of
just came
Dyson
out.
Man. I know that one.
Yeah.
Prestige.
Prestige.
But they just
2.0.
came out with one that is
Dry erase.
Raven, you probably know about the one where you have the whiteboard and you can draw something, and it.
I think I seen the guy using it at the castle.
I think it's 2.0.
Yeah,
It's so expensive, those things, man. Why? I don't know why. Why the magnetic?
and it's foam core,
It's like, aren't they like $200 or $100 and something dollars? Like, it's like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
and it's foam core. The
Right,
thing
it-
is in the demo, he shows this routine where the audience is seeing the word fart, and he says, "Is this something you do? Is this important to you?" Yes, it is.
Yeah, Raven does this gig. It's
I did a book trick like that. Yes, I know.
yeah, the comedy book test. It's great.
It's the
Kills,
Cody.
kills.
It's the Cody comedy book test,
There you go. Exactly. That's
and
it.
it's
the
been
same
out
thing.
there.
It's
It's out there
everything.
forever.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. And they're showing the same dialogue and everything else. So it's like, at what point, okay, well, great, you got this nice little device that helps you change eat to fart, but you're using somebody else's work.
That's where my
Bro,
question comes in.
I'll be honest with you. Okay, then I'm guilty because I'm working on that trick that was sold called Blank Night by John Archer, and I can't see a better routine than the one he came up with.
So that's not what I'm talking about, Raven. Because I think, like you were saying about the performing,
He's
what
talking
I'm
about
talking
marketing
about is
selling it.
somebody
Oh.
packaged,
All right.
and you know what I
Selling.
mean?
Selling.
And now they're selling the same, but they're using the same type of dialogue and the same,
Mhm.
premise to sell their trick. And it's like, okay, well, at what point do you say, okay, well, that's a little too close?
Yeah,
but not for performance wise, but for selling a product.
Yeah, for actual
right.
earning money from it.
so that's where my question comes in, as far as where is it okay and not okay? I mean, because it happens, obviously.
Well,
But,
I mean,
at what point
I don't think there's any clear way to quantify that, or like, but it's just, I think, up to your own discretion, I guess.
Yeah.
And if someone publishes it, then they publish it. I don't know, and if you want to support it, then support it, sheesh.
So one of the comments that I had on that whole thing is, the repurposing and repackages. If everybody was doing original creations, there would be no magic stores. If there were no magic stores,
we'd be making our own stuff.
Well, if there were no magic stores, there probably wouldn't be any new up and coming magicians, because I think it's a lot of these stores that inspire kids to come, whether it's a magic kid or whatever it is.
I have a question. So, you, as an owner of a magic shop, the two of you guys, how many? What's the percentage of children coming in? I'm just curious of that statistic. From your
right now, we have probably about a dozen kids that we're working with in teaching magic.
But the ones that come in about 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, we get probably, yeah. And quite honestly, the professional magician is not the one who's buying magic tricks from the store.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
We found that one out real quick.
How you doing, man?
Hey, here's
Sharpo! What's up, good sir?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, you're coming in the middle of our presidential debate, but that's okay.
Let's see. Let's get some of his opinions. Go ahead. Shoot.
Yeah. So, all right. So the next thing he was talking about is, and this is a quote, that magicians are protective of their secrets, but not because of some brotherly magic code. No, because if you take the secret, then they are not special.
Dude.
Whoa. So what he's basically saying is that
that came out.
If you take away the secret, then you're not special. That in other words, if you take away the trick, then that person who's performing it there's nothing special about him.
Yeah, I remember this part of the video. He was going on to say things about how you have no personality other than magic.
If you guys are really honest, that is partially true.
It is true.
Well, I mean, it's part of my personality.
That's who the fuck we are, right? We're magicians. You bring that up any chance you get, and you're like, bullshit.
But if you take away somebody's flute,
I mean, you all have great personality.
Music.
We definitely are magicians, so we make the point of it.
Yeah,
it's a big part of our persona.
Magic is our instrument. Yeah, for entertaining. So obviously, if you take away
that train to the end, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I got left, bro. It's magic. Here we go. That's it.
Yeah.
So take that away from me, and I would definitely be bummed out. Like if I was like, one of those guys that got banned from the Magic Castle, I just jump off the roof like Daryl, I guess, or something, or whatever, or the rope. That's important to me, man. It's
I hear you.
So I do kind of hear that, and I think when we're all geeky, we kind of get into magic too. When we're young, we use it as a tool for something.
Right. I went through. I'm little Jimmy. I mean, if you want to get right down to it, I'm little Jimmy. I got a magic kit. I went to a magic store.
Sharpo, I see him as a bully, so I don't think he had that problem. But what did you get when you were a kid? Magic, bro.
No, I was bullied as a kid, but
shit, that's why you're mean now. Okay, I got you.
I'm a horrible, mean person now. As far as you can slip into being a product demonstrator instead of an entertainer very easily in our craft. It's important to just do more than demonstrate a product when we work. And you guys are all top pros, so you know that. And I think that's probably what Chris was implying there, that, you should attempt to do more than just do a product demo, like the Costco guy does the demo for the new, here's the wiener at the hot dog counter or whatever.
No doubt.
First you put it in the oven for 30 seconds or, whatever it is. So I think we should strive to do more than just be a product demo and put ourselves into it. If you're doing a cover song as a musician, you should still do it with all the passion and love and joy that it speaks to you. We perform tricks that speak to us. When you do a piece of somebody's magic that they created, we do it because, oh, we like that. There's so many, everyone's set is different because we all see different things when someone does a trick for us. So we say, oh, when Raven does his trick, he does this trick because that spoke to him. That particular routine spoke to his heart and said, I got to share this with the world. So there's this passion. So I think there are very few magicians that we know that are just doing product demos, but they do exist, you know.
It's very true.
Oh, I mean, we have magicians that are part of the borough that, they do everything verbatim. But they're not out there trying to make a career out of this. They're just,
Nothing wrong with that.
they,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, they love it. It's fun. They go out and they do some kids shows. They have a great time, and there's some magicians out there that just honestly shouldn't be performing in front of anybody. But that's true in any industry.
Yeah.
If you, most actors don't write their own dialogue.
That's very,
and they make many of them are billionaires.
There you go.
You know,
perfect point.
So, okay. And by the way, there is a brotherly code. And I think people
should have gone on to.
Yeah, I think people take that code seriously for the most part. If you're in magic, if you have a true passion for it,
I take it seriously.
That builds part of the mystique, of the whole performance. You take that away, and it loses its wonder.
That's the whole reason why I have that magician never reveals his secrets. Not because I'm not going to be special anymore. It's because this took me freaking forever to learn.
Not to mention,
I want you to be fooled every time I show you, so I can't go and tell you how I turn the light bulb on.
Not to mention, it's not just to protect the magician's ego, but to protect magic within the spectator's mind. The more they're exposed to secrets and things, the less it's magical to themselves, for themselves.
Yeah, for a lot of people, if they know how, like my wife, she knows how most of the stuff is done. To her, magic isn't as thrilling.
Exactly.
Johnny Ace Palmer. You guys know Johnny Ace Palmer. Johnny Ace Palmer, one of the greatest magicians in history, in my opinion, does a routine in his close-up show with the sponge balls coming out of the mouth over and over again, hundreds of sponge. And what he says is, "This looks real, doesn't it? This looks like real magic, doesn't it?" And by saying this looks like real magic, he's diffusing it immediately because he's saying we know it's an illusion. We know this is make-believe, but it looks real, doesn't it? To me, that's the most powerful statement a performing magician can make, is to let the audience in a little bit that way and say, we're doing this together. We're making this look like real magic.
All right, Mr. Trump, you did not have the platform at that time. I'm gonna have to ask that you please withhold your statements until you.
I think we're going to be a political show too.
Okay. Here, this one kind of got me. Magic is in the baby phase, and that is why we get away with it. We are still doing knock jokes. End quote. Greg, tell everybody what you said.
So as far as magic being, he said infancy. Was that not the word? Or he said baby phase. So magic being in its baby phase. So magic, as far as I understand, magic is the third oldest profession in the world. You got prostitution, you got advertisement, and then you have magic. So as far as it being in its baby phase, I mean, at what point do we grow up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are no adults in the world. There's just big kids. That's my political opinion.
That would be a great place to be if we were all just big kids. Because at some point along the way, a lot of us lose that kid inside of us, and that's a shame.
Well, I never said we're all well-behaved children. I just said we're all big children.
All right. Any comments from the floor? Are we in the infancy stage? And that's what
I mean by that is, he wants to see, magic continue to grow and like story, based and try to get out of that cookie cutting, just like tricks that you buy over a counter. And maybe that's what he's talking about. Other than that, I can't really see it's not in a baby phase. Obviously, we're always moving forward and trying to bring magic forward into the future. I think and create new stuff.
So one of the things he talks about is that in order to grow, you have to fail. And that when you buy something that is prepackaged and guaranteed not to fail.
Oh, it's gonna fail anyway.
Oh, it will fail. It will fail.
That was very
it's happening.
Ambitious. That was a very ambitious statement of him to go
is
and
happening.
say, "Oh, it's never going to fail." I'm like, really? You're making it sound like you've never performed before, dude. I'm sorry.
I think the growth comes from, not necessarily.
After this, I got to tell you guys a story about Fallon this weekend at the castle.
Okay. So I think, I think growth comes from when you're performing and, everybody needs a platform to where they can try things out. What is somebody gonna, what are they gonna gravitate to? What's gonna turn them off? What's gonna make people get excited? And that has nothing to do with the magic trick at all. That has to do with the performance itself.
Sure.
And as a professional, we're not focused so much on the aspect of the trick as we are in the presentation and in the performance. But regardless, I can show you a handful of props that I can just go downstairs right now and say, this thing's going to fail on you 9 out of 10 times.
Not only that,
are they by TCC by any chance?
Not only that, like even something completely self-working, you have to talk. You have to operate your hands and you have to be able to speak clearly to people. Yeah. There's no trick that you can just plug into your brain and it's going to take over for 5 minutes now and everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
So you still have to get out there and you still have to put it out there.
All right.
I pull the drawer out and put it in the wrong way, right? Even that little trick, but you can still make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And there's time.
Sharpo is sitting here itching. Yes, Mr. Crump, go ahead.
I just feel that the audience teaches you how to be a performer. You have to listen to your audience. You have to say, did that land? You have to be in the moment. And that takes practice in front of an audience. And I know that's the essence of what he was trying to say. And I don't care if it's the best prepackaged trick in the world, you still have to learn the timing. You still have to learn, why did that joke work for Pop Hayden and it didn't work for me? It works because you're in the moment, you're listening, you're choosing what pattern to use at the right time. And even if you're doing all the talking, it is still a conversation with the audience. Their job is to nod or laugh or applaud or just let you know that they're with you.
Yeah,
so
they're responding in some way.
And that does take, how did I learn magic? From my audience over 3 decades of thousands of times in front of an audience, knowing that worked or it didn't work. And then, then I sucked less,
Sucked less. That's a great way of putting it. Now, that one I was having a problem with.
He's got the gems today. Yeah. Sharpo's got the gems today, for sure.
So, Raven, you were talking about Phil?
You want to hear the story? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yes.
Please do. All ears.
Dude. All right. So I got the this is the one that it took me a long time to get to this point. There is a positive ending to it, which is good, but this is the worst fail that I think any magician could have. And your homeboy there has a great sort of a scenario. What did you call that thing again?
The doomsday clock.
Okay, doomsday clock. Remember that. So I have my last routine, as you know, is the chop cup routine, right? And it's the 6.5 to 7 minute routine. It's the crescendo of my routine. It's everything, man. It really was. So everything's going great. I finished the second show of one of the nights. This beautiful woman comes up to me and says, "Hey, Raven, you were amazing. Oh my God, thank you so much." Blah blah blah. I brought my brother over here, and he's over there in the armor room. It's his first time. It's his birthday. He loved you. I can answer your question, and you don't have to say yes. But is there any way you could do like a trick for him? And just like anybody, you guys, like, yeah. I said, I think I got to get back in that room in like 5 minutes. So unfortunately, I can't. I'm so sorry, but later on, maybe I could do something. So I left, and I asked Aaron. I said, "Hey, how much time do I have?" He said, 10 minutes. I go, "All right, cool. I'll just go out there and surprise her." So I put something in my pocket, a couple of props that are not part of the trick, my routine in the castle. Because I bring extra for that ring. So I go over there and I go, "Hey, come on over here. I can't do it in the armor room, but come over here by the Di Vernon table." So I do the little laptop trick with the little cord and everything, and she was amazed, and everything was cool. And I go, oh, I gotta go. Okay, cool. So I go inside in the green room, and I'm just I can hear him coming in. You guys, he's in there. You guys ready? Okay, yeah, go ahead. You guys ready for a show? Yeah, okay, cool. So now I'm looking around, and I'm just double checking, and I go, what? Where's that red ball? Shoot, the red ball. I need the red ball. Okay, you guys ready for a show? The next person.
And the clock begins.
I'm like, I need the red ball. I got just 7 minutes to fill. I now I'm looking on because I'm so I don't put it anywhere else. So I go, okay. It's got to be in the cup with the other red ball, and I just somehow. So when I go out there, I'll lift the top off, and I'll take the little ball. I'll put it in my pocket, and everything will be fine. Okay, so he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Raven. And I come out and I go, so now I'm already thinking in my head. So I'm not really 100% there. I'm like, fuck. Hey, guys, how you doing? I thought the top off and the red ball is not there.
Oh.
So now I'm having this internal conversation while I'm trying to pattern the first trick. And that is very difficult. I feel like I'm speaking Chinese to him. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm going, and now the sweat starts to go. Oh. So here's what I did. So this is talk about a coincidence or a fate, I guess fate. I don't believe it. I asked Aaron, the host, the show before, dude, you got to check out my last piece, the chop cup. Please, is there any way you can come in and see it? After you. He goes, yeah, I'll try. He missed it. He goes, I guess my timing was wrong. He goes, I'll come in the next show. He came in the beginning of the show, like he was literally right there where you let the people in, right? Which is unheard of. He's not really normally they don't stand there, but him and I have a rapport, and he hung out, so he's cool. The moment I came out and I lifted the box, I literally said this. I think we have a problem. And they all laughed. And I looked at him and I said, I lost a prop. He left. He didn't even know what prop I lost. He backed out of the double doors and he left. So now the doomsday clock starts. And I'm going, well, I hope he finds the ball. But if he doesn't, what am I going to do? Because I have 7 minutes to fill at the end. And that's a lot out of the 18 minutes. I'm seriously, guys, I'm trying to pattern it, and now I'm in a trick too. And I'm trying to think, what am I going to do? I have those 3 tricks in the back that I play around with people, but I already did the one trick, so I'd have to reset it, and I'm going to go in the back of the curtain. I got to put the things in my pocket. Oh my God. So now I'm on the 3rd trick. It's 3-card money, and I'm getting, and all of a sudden, bink, a hand comes out of the curtain. And I go, I think we got a good routine now. Here we go. I put it in my and everything worked out perfect. Okay, so in the end, they all applaud. Everything's great. Perfect set. The guy came up to me. He goes, hey, let me ask you a question. Was that a bit? I go, absolutely. Because in the end, I said, then turn to Aaron because they didn't know. I go, and let's give Aaron a big hand, the superhero of the show. Thank God he found the ball. And then everybody thought it was a bit, man, because it was so. Oh my God, bro! Talk about like the red ball was gone. So here's what happened. I use a little cord for that little mini laptop after they give it to him. I go, oh, let me get that back. Let me take the cord out. You guys seen some of my stuff on Ravens. So the little cord is magnetic. So when I pulled it out, the ball fell on the ground. So I wanted to know, well, what happened in the background, dude? Because how did you find the ball? And it took forever. I'm like, how did you even know what to look for? He goes, I didn't know what to look for, but I figured it must be something to do with like a little ball or something. How would you even know that? I don't know. So he goes, I went around the back. So you know the area. He went down the alley and then he went back to the diverting table. He didn't see anything. He's calling on the thing. Anybody find nothing? He went in the Irma's room. Nothing. He went over to the bar. Nothing. So he's not finding anything. Last ditch effort. He went to the front desk and all of a sudden the guy's bringing back the ball and he's like, I need that. Thank you. And he's like, wait, he goes, some guy threw it at me and it hit him in the face. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, and then all of a sudden he comes in the back room and a curtain comes out like that. And literally just like that. I'm like, oh my God. I swear to you, I was like, click. And it was like, I was almost out of time.
Most of the time, I always say, I really wish I didn't know how that was done. I'm so glad I know how that one was done.
It's an incredible story. It's crazy.
It's phenomenal.
Oh my God, man. It's like, that's never happened. So it wasn't really a mistake, but it was like an error because I forgot I had that thing in my pocket. But in the end, it all worked out.
A little accident.
Well,
that's a beautiful
that's how
example.
I've written my whole act. Is when those mistakes happen and then something good comes out of it that stays in the show. And
so we could literally try to reenact that again, like where I don't have the ball and he pulls it. That's a great piece, but like I'd have to have Aaron there to do it every time. Like, it is a great bit. It is. I swear to God, it looked like it was a bit because I was so in trouble. I literally came out, lifted the thing, and I said, I think we have a problem. And then I looked at Aaron and I said, I lost the prop. And they still a little laughing. I'm like, I don't think this is funny, but I'm sweating now. And he just like, he literally just backs out and the doors go, doosh. And I'm like,
see, that's Bob Ross.
I'm like, okay, I don't know how we're getting out of this one. Like, maybe I'll find it. I don't know.
Good reminder to keep that ambitious card routine handy.
All right. So what did I do the next day? Well, I wound up getting 3 extra sets of those balls. So now I have everything lined up. I ain't never gonna. And I bought extra watches for the ring watch because one of the routines, the watch band broke. So I went, oh cool. Next one, I just pulled out a new one, and I just so you have to have backup. That's important.
I think that's a magician's disease. We buy 2 or 3 of everything. I go to a show to do close up, and I go, I don't need and then I jam pack my pockets with everything twice just in case.
You never know.
It's like, right?
Yeah, that's a perfect example, Raven, of the difference between an amateur and a professional. Because an amateur would have been like, oh my God, I lost my ball. I don't know where to get my ball.
So literally what I was going to do, and I would have got out of it, because the audience is forgiving. They said, hey, listen, I don't know what happened, but give me 1 second. I'll be back. I'll blow your minds. I had 3 other cool tricks, but I would have bugged the shit out of me because I had to do that. But I would have got out of it, like you said. I wouldn't have blew the whole thing. But in the end, man, as soon as that hand came out, it was like the clock went, ding, it stopped. I was like somebody cut the wires, like the bomb before it went off. I swear to God, literally, the moment that came out, it was like somebody went, ding, and I was like, oh my God, thank you.
But is what the beautiful thing is that the audience thought it was part of the routine.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
So over the top that there's no way they would have thought that was real. There's no way.
Yeah.
And that's why a magician never reveals his secrets.
There you go, right?
There you go. So, that's the real reason.
What a story, man. It's unbelievable. But other than that, everything.
Now it's been captured for eternity.
Yeah, that's good. When I turn 80 and I forget my own name, I can watch that and go, oh, yeah, he did that.
That happened to me.
Right?
So last thing on Ramsey's list was basically stating that, the whole purpose of doing this video was because if we don't start changing things, magic is going to die as a result of it. And
magic will live forever in my heart.
Yeah.
Sharpo, go ahead. Give Sharpo.
Well, people have been, telling us that magic is dead for hundreds of years now, and it continues to live and will continue to evolve with the technology. And, there are routines that have lasted centuries, even if they've been exposed a million times on YouTube and TikTok, because it's not about the secret. I'm sorry, it is not. It is about the experience we have together. It's what Johnny Ace Palmer said. It really looks like magic, doesn't it? It doesn't matter if you know. Penn and Teller proved it by doing the transparent cups and balls. They proved it doesn't matter.
That still blows me away.
Yeah, it's all look, there's technicians and practitioners that are really great at the craft. There are great entertainers who are lousy with the handling, and I think you do need a combination of both. But I don't think magic's in any danger of dying anytime soon.
No way.
So Penn and Teller had this one routine that they did with a ball. It was like a balloon or something like that.
It was the red ball.
The red ball. And so the ball was doing all this movement through the stage, and it was, it was floating, it was dancing, it was running across,
doing this whole thing with the ball, making it dance, making it jump everywhere he wanted it to go.
Yeah, and at the very end, he takes a pair of scissors and he cuts the thread, and the ball drops, and then he kicks it. And everybody who watched that thing went, yeah, there's no way they were using the thread. That was not, they made it so unbelievable. It's like the cups and balls. They make it so unbelievable. It's like, yeah, you're telling me how it's done, but that's not really how it's done. You're doing something else because that's impossible if that's the way it's done.
That's cool.
So, and that's just the beauty of, performing. And if you're a master at your craft, no matter how much, like you said, Sharpo, no matter how much it's been revealed, people are going to watch you do it. And they're going to go, yeah, no.
That's good.
That's amazing. There's no way that's that simple.
Yeah, I do kid shows here at the House of Magic. We rent out and do birthday parties, And I do the Lincoln rings, and I'm forever having kids come up to me and say, "Oh, I have a set of those rings in my magic kit." Right. And I say, do you really think that the rings that you get in a magic kit are going to be the same rings that a professional magician is going to use? And besides, can you do what I did with those rings? No.
Well, so. That's a really good point. There are some effects that you can say, I know how it's done, but I couldn't do it.
Right.
And so you have to give props to the guy that's doing it or the lady that's doing it. You go, well, they did something that to me is impossible. When you see a guitar virtuoso doing Eddie Van Halen, whatever, and you go, wow, that is, that guy's really put in his 10,000 hours, and you go, that's magic to me. That dance with the universe this person is doing on his guitar or his cello is so amazing. I know how he's doing it. I know he's hitting these notes or whatever, but it's magic. The result is magical, you know. So to me, that's magic is a shared experience that we all have, whether you know the method or I think that's all secondary. It is this getting under the ether, the flowers from the bag. I do this many times for adults. I finish my straitjacket memorized deck routine, and then I do the flowers from the bag. And I start with pixie dust, pouring an empty bag of pixie dust. And I have doctors and philosophers and scientists, engineers holding out their hands for more imaginary pixie dust. It has nothing to do with pulling a box of flowers out of an empty bag. It has to do with taking grown people, most of them partially educated, and making them believe for 2 seconds that they are holding imaginary pixie dust in their hands. That's what magic is. It's not that, I had a pull string that pulled the thing up my arm and back with it. None of that matters. I mean, it matters, but matters is how it lands on the audience. That's not in danger of dying anytime soon, because that is the twinkle in the eye of Willy Wonka. That has nothing to do with the thing you're holding in your hand to convey that.
Yeah, and there's always going to be the David Copperfields and the David Blaines, and I'm not going to say.
Let's be honest, Shin Lim went and revived magic for now.
Yeah, I mean, he made it hip for the younger generation and stuff. And,
he professed that he learned it all from watching YouTube video.
There you go.
So the only thing that I have a problem with is he sells magic, but he does not sell the rights for you to perform it.
Now that one is
who does that? Shin Lim does?
Now, that's what I call clever marketing.
Yeah,
that's kind of not sharing though. He's taken away from the sharing aspect of it all.
All right,
I do have to say, when I watched Ramsey's video,
you really don't.
I do.
Okay.
See,
is this your closing remark?
Yes.
Okay, because we're closing the show.
Yeah,
unfortunately, we have run out of time.
No,
we will have to. No. I know we will have to do that next show. We are out of time.
Oh, you're killing me.
So
we heard about the Red Bull, but that was good, right?
All right. So Joshua, closing remarks. Go.
Well, I feel like the video from Ramsey, it was very, very wishy-washy what he was saying.
Wishy-washy.
Well, yeah, because he was very back and forth with his ideas and what he was trying to put out there. Oh, we don't care about the secrets, but the secrets are important, or there's no new magic, but people keep going and making things to sell. And, you got to go, and you can't just take other people's magic, but it doesn't count, or it's not the same if you go and you add your own thing to it or whatever the heck. He was when you watch the video, it sounds like he's going back and forth between his opinion. And that's the one thing that I really didn't like about it. He didn't like what you did at the very beginning of the episode. You didn't take a stand. And I don't think he really took a stand with his point or his opinion of it all. It kind of sounded like he was just he was filling time, and it sounded a little bit like he was trying to do something to start up another point in his favor. And I didn't like that portion of it.
I'm going to disagree with that, but
you're going to disagree.
That's your opinion.
Well, now why aren't you going to argue it?
I'm not, because we got final close. There are no debates.
Taking a stand.
There are no debates on the closing argument.
See, oh my God.
All right, Greg, final thoughts.
I liked the video. Honestly, I really appreciated his perspective, though. He does mention in the video he had quite a rough 2023.
Yeah.
So I did get quite a bit of a jaded tone from that video. Like I don't necessarily, not sure if he was coming from the most positive place within himself at the moment. Also, it may have been, something he was speaking on to maybe, change more within his own perspective of magic or how he approaches magic versus everybody. I'm not sure. But I do appreciate the video. It was a good video, and I do appreciate Chris Ramsey. He's a great magician, for sure.
No doubt. No knock to him.
All right. Sharpo, any...
Yeah, I learned a lot from Chris Ramsey over the years from his videos. He's a great teacher. He's a great YouTuber. I think he's going through some kind of a emotional moment in his life or whatever. And, like everything else, he's sharing his process with the world. So if this is the only Chris Ramsey video I ever saw, I probably would not care for the content of it. But, as one slice of a tremendous body of work, I think, okay, he's an artist going through what he's going through. And I don't agree with a lot of what he said, or I think it's not articulated the way I would like to interpret what he's saying. But it was thought-provoking, got us all talking, which I think is great.
Exactly.
That's right. And he's got 7.15 million subscribers.
You don't have to go and add a monetary value to everything.
Well, I'm just saying.
If that's the case, then Donald Trump, what you keep going and you make reference to, he's the most profound person in the world that you can listen to. Do you know how many people he has friends of?
I totally agree with that.
Really?
All right. Raven, any final thoughts?
I think those guys said it right. We love Chris. He might be going through something right now, but in the end, most of the stuff that he said was, he just wants to bring magic forward. I think he has passion just like we do for it. And as Sharpo said, it got us to talk about it. And I think we're already on the right path. The group of us, maybe some people aren't, but I look forward to his next video. I'm a fan. So definitely.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that magic is like every other industry. There are the followers, there are the creators, there are the the performers that really shine. There are people that in music that don't rehearse at all, and they get up and they play in a garage band, and it's like, oh, it hurts my ears.
So are we talking about magic or music?
We are referencing another trade, and I am doing my closing remarks, sir. And so I don't think magic is any different than any other artistic trade. Yeah, there are always going to be those that are really exceptional at what they do, and there's going to be people that you wonder why they're doing it. But that's true in any art form you look at, and art is subjective.
Yeah.
Something that is appealing and looks great to you, I look at and I go, I don't get what you see.
Yeah. He did make a reference to that in his video in relation to it being, I think this is what he was talking about when he was talking about the subjectivity of magic.
That is subjective.
That, it's because what was his remark on it? A lot of magicians go and say, I'm doing this because it's important. Well, how do you know it's important? Because I'm telling the audience that it's important. And I'm on his side with that one, because more to the point of what you were talking about, where it's you never know who's it's important to.
Now, in a presidential debate, when we do closing remarks, that does not.
I was waiting for this. I knew it.
I knew this was coming. That we go to the
Before you go, I just want to say one thing. I really enjoyed the format that you had today, and I think we should probably continue it at some point. It's nice to have other magicians on here that have their other points of view, and something you might want to consider. It's I think we had a very interesting podcast today. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys all coming on.
Anytime.
Unfortunately, we ran out of time for the Joshua's favorite segment. He wanted to bring out Star Trek, but that will be for another day.
Did you say Star Trek? We got to finish this episode right now.
Seriously.
Sorry,
guys. We're gonna last another 5 minutes.
All right. Nano.
Oh my God.
LLAP.
Yeah. All right, guys. It was a pleasure. Thank you for sharing. We will see you all next week. Until then, stay safe and stay dry.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus, presto. Pick a card, any card. Some words are magic. They sparkle with the promise of something wonderful. But they're still just words until you add that something wonderful to the mix. And that's what you'll find at the White Rabbit Magic Shop in Santa Paula. Their inventory includes world-class tricks and illusions that are not only for sale, but that they will teach you to master. In addition, White Rabbit Magic Shop is world-renowned for its amazing collection of bicycle playing cards, with nearly 500 decks in stock. So, if you're serious about magic, then say it with us. At the White Rabbit Magic Shop, we believe in magic. The White Rabbit Magic Shop, located at 15500 Telegraph Road, Suite B15 in Santa Paula. For more information, please call 805-850-30R-magic.com.
And now that is how we close the show.
Abracadabra,
Hey, guys.
hocus pocus,
Wait, hold on.
presto. Pick a card, any card.
Now that is how we close the show.
By running the commercial twice?
Well, no, actually, you were supposed to say we believe in magic, but all you're worried about is people staying dry and staying safe. I don't know how you keep doing this.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.
And by the way, my name is first on the show, so I will always have the last word. Thanks all. Take care. Bye-bye.